I started to imagine, what if one day I can no longer catch up to my running daughter? I could visibly see myself change. So I
Yeah.
never had a belly until I could no longer fit into the jeans that I wore when I was studying.
And the turning point is when I saw the ex-Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson came back after a season break with a fit body. And I was thinking like, hey, there must be something that is doable, right? Because he has a body transformation.
Start my day an hour earlier, get my workout in, done for the day.
You need consistency. You need a routine. So that's why I tell myself, okay, let's do something today. And music is back up again.
Take two.
I will take two. Yes,
Okay.
we're gonna have take two, or how many number of takes, whatever. Just like the number of episodes. Like I told CK before we started this, I lost count of how many episodes we've done. Just like my age. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that happens to CK. People ask me how old am I?
For me,
I
it's
lost
time.
Yeah. You lost count of time.
I can tell day from night now.
Oh man, how's the work? Because you have been back to work, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So when my paternity leave ended and I had to go back to work, right? So you don't get to see your kid for more than half a day or close to one whole day. And then when you're back, you're tired and all this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to take care of the baby. It's your turn, right? The
Of
wife has
course.
been taking care of the baby the whole day. It's your turn, and before you know it, it's time to sleep. And next day repeats again. So yeah. Day in, day out. It's been like that for me.
Now it's sleep, feed, repeat. Work.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to add work. All right. And welcome back, everyone, to our podcast episode. Sorry, remind me again, CK. Episode
8.
What? Oh, episode 8.
9. Oh, is it 9?
You lost track of that episode as well.
Yeah.
So I was telling CK, I think I lost track of that episodes that we are recording, but I think the past 2 episodes that we have, 2 special guests with us, it was really an eye-opener. We had very good conversation with Craig as well as Rob, teaching us so much things that CK and myself find very beneficial to us as dads, and how we can use it in our parenting journey. Yeah, and if you have not listened, just hop by to our Spotify or YouTube, listen to these 2 great episodes on what Craig and Rob have to share. It's really amazing because I think at the end of the session, CK and myself, the expression is one word. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Wow. We need to do it again. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the idea.
All right. So I think today it's just back to 2 of us. And I think it's pretty interesting because we knew each other since 13 years old, and 20 years this year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 20 years. Yeah.
2 decades.
And we had a lot of journey and the kind of friendship for the past 20 years, up and down, I would say. Yeah. But interestingly, our path crosses again. And yeah, here we are doing podcasts and talking all things
Yeah, who would have thought, right?
almost every week in the evening after my kids go to bed, and sometimes your baby naps and wake up and hear the
not
cry
yet.
in the background. Yeah, so I think I would like to ask CK, you ask you a question. It's interesting how you kickstart back on fitness, because for most men, I think the fittest we just spoke with Second Prime 2 weeks back, right? But for most Singaporean men, our prime fitness, it's really during 18, 19 years of age when we enter into our national service. We serve the nation, and typically it's only the first 8 to 12 weeks that we are the fittest, because we are being confined in this island called Pulau Tekong afford that Monday to Fridays. You know, we're gonna get to
Yeah, basic
go
military
back to
training.
mainland on Friday evenings, and then return back to the island on Sunday night. Um, every day we wake up, what we do is we go to breakfast, we march to the canteen. After that, you know, you rest for an hour and it's run, 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 run. All I can recall is really fitness. And that was, I mean, my prime fitness because I was the fittest back then. I can run um, 2.4 kilometers for 10 minutes. That was my best in my entire 30 over years of my life. And recently I just did my IPV test, right? I didn't did 10 minutes, of course. I did 14 minutes. That was pathetic. But um, now I think I resonate with what Second Prime shared, right? I am at my second prime, reclaiming back my health because getting fitter and fitter. But I would like to hear from you. You know, you have started this journey. Why? Why do you even started it? Because it's so busy, you know, being a full-time employee, being a full-time husband, a full-time son, and now a new role, dad. You're gonna juggle so many things. Why? Tell us why, CK.
Yeah, so I guess if you check out my Instagram, my story is there, right? Because of my high cholesterol and the risks it brings with it. So high cholesterol usually tends to lead to heart
Mm-hmm.
complications, vascular complications. Or your veins, they may start to choke, and you may get a stroke. All
Mm-hmm.
this, the risk of all this happening increases. So that kind of scared me. And this was during the period of time where my wife was already pregnant. So it was kind of like a double whammy, right? So on one hand, I'm expecting a child. On the other hand, I have to balance my
Your wife
my
is expecting a child, not you.
we were expecting a child,
Yeah.
right? So uh yeah, so, and because of all the potential risks
Mm.
that might hit me in the future if I don't change my lifestyle, it's going to affect the family unit. uh I started to imagine, what if one day I can no longer catch up to my running daughter, or if something happens, I'm slow to react because of my physical condition, right? So yeah, that kind of woke me up. And 9 months, during the 9 months of the baby's development, inside my wife, right, during the pregnancy, that was when I started to work out, try to regain my strength, regain my fitness level, health, everything. Of course, I went to see a doctor, just to
Mm-hmm.
get my cholesterol back under control. So yeah, that's, I mean, the biggest reason why I decided to get fit again
Curious
was,
question. So
yeah.
prior to that, do you even work out?
So I stopped for close to a decade, right?
My
And
gosh, a decade.
health was on the decline. I could no longer pass my IPPT, my individual physical proficiency test, right? For those who do not know. And it was during the time when I guess started working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when work, when you're so focused on your career and trying to, climb the ranks and whatnot, you
Mm-hmm.
spend most of your time there. When you're back, you're tired, you go to sleep. Next day, you repeat. So yeah, the fitness aspect of my life just slipped away. And yeah, I never really thought much about it. I could visibly see myself change. So I
Yeah.
never had a belly until I could no longer fit into the jeans that I wore when I was studying, in university, right? I still have that pair of jeans. I could not fit
Now, what
for
about now?
a decade. So
Okay.
I am not there because, I mean, in university we still quite young, and the
Yeah.
size, my waistline was way smaller back then, so I still can't fit into that pair of jeans, but my waistline definitely shrunk. So which is a good thing.
It
I
means
have,
there's more room for improvement, right?
yes, I have two pairs of jeans that I could wear when I started my career. I
Oh,
could not wear for good 7 to 8 years, and now I could wear it again. So I think that's a good
well,
improvement.
that's good improvement.
Yeah,
But
but
any
it's just
challenges, the past 1 month of fitness journey? Because
mm,
there's a transition, right? 9 months, the baby it's still in the tummy, not yet out in the world. You have a lot of time to work out and reclaim back your fitness. But
yes.
the past 1 month has been so chaotic in your schedule. Your day and night has been, flipped. So how has it been so far for that 1 month?
Yeah, so in fact the period that was the hardest was during the confinement, because that's when you are learning the ropes of taking care of the baby. Your everything so hectic. There is no like structure in place, no schedule. You're still working things out. So that was the most challenging part. I could not find the time to squeeze in any form of workout because yeah, baby cries, you feed, baby sleeps. 2 hours later, baby wakes up, cries, sleep, rinse and repeat, right? And in that short 2 hours, if you're lucky, it's 2 hours. If not, it's less. You have many other things to do, right? You have to wash, you have to clean, buy supplies, do so and so forth.
And you have
Take
to
care of your
rest.
wife. Yeah, I had to rest. So yeah, that really is just the toughest point if you talk about in terms of fitness. It was so
Mm,
difficult to squeeze in a workout. It got better towards the second half of the month. I could start to squeeze in a bit of workouts, 15-20 minutes a
oh,
day, that kind of thing. But that's because you got used to you will get used to the baby's schedule, feeding cycle. Then, lo and behold, 1 month passed, paternity
mhm.
leave ends. Now I have to go back to work. Things have gotten easier if you look at it from a fitness perspective, because my company has a gym. So
Wow,
I just need to go
nice.
an hour earlier, start my day an hour earlier, get my workout in, done for the day, and
Wow.
work, right, head back home.
So are you
So
training for IPPT?
I can pass now.
Nice.
uh, yeah, so I think that's great. I hopefully will continue to pass.
You need
And
to get goals soon. Goals needed
that
for that.
that is my goal. Hopefully I'll get there.
You will. Every day you are going to the gym. If you do the right kind of training and workout,
Hmm,
definitely. I think that the number one challenge for most people is the running.
running. Yep. That's the hardest part to train for, because it's not like you can lift weights and in short period of time you gain the muscular strength.
Yeah.
Stamina is I feel the hardest to train, because you have to run
Mm,
every single day.
yeah.
You have to do cardio every single day
Yeah.
to train your
It's the
stamina.
discipline.
Yeah, cardio is the
Yep.
hardest. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
so curious about yourself then. You just recently or very recently started your fitness journey again.
Yeah.
So what happened to the 4 years when your kids were, born?
Uh, priorities were different, I think. I think same reasons, right? The first reason is health. But it is not so high of that push factor. So I recall I asked Craig this question a couple of weeks back, like why, if that desire isn't strong enough, it won't push you hard enough. So very obviously, health was a strong reason, but not that strong push me to work out. I um, do some exercises, but it was on very occasional basis, not frequent. Maybe once a month, I go for jogging, and I play tennis. I play tennis with one of our close friend Darren on a monthly basis as well. Then that's it. I don't really work out. I don't really run that often, except when I go for tennis sessions or I play futsals. But it's not very frequent. Then came, of course, the kids, right? Two kids came along. There's so much things to juggle between time, work, and at the end of the day, when you're home, you're so exhausted, you just don't want to do anything. And what you want to do is really to be, most of the time, we want to have that quick temporary dopamine hit. I recall last episode that Rob shared with us this, right? Easiest things is always to go to the phone, switch on your TV, go on Netflix, Prime or Disney Plus to catch a quick show to give you that kind of rest. But then I reach a stage that same thing, my belly is getting bigger and bigger. I'm actually getting that bored. Um, my waistline is increasing. I couldn't fit back to my pants. That's the same reason. So every year we need to go back for our in-camp reservice as a national serviceman
Oh
in
yeah,
Singapore.
yeah. I bought a few new pairs of army pants.
So I only bought one pair because the one I wore when I was like 20 years old, I couldn't fit back to that. So I bought one new pair and I wore it for the past 3 years during when I was there. And I realized that my weight is increasing. I'm hitting like 68, 69 kilograms, and I'm only like 169 centimeters tall. Not that tall, but average typical Singaporean height, I think. But I don't know what's average in Singapore. CK is obviously taller than me, 1.75, maybe higher. But I think to me, 1.69 decent. So I couldn't fit into my pants, and then I have a lot of berms, jeans, same thing. I couldn't fit in, and my blazer that I tailor made. In Singapore when you need to go tailor a suit, 3-piece suit, it's not that cheap. But I couldn't fit in back to that 3-piece suit. Then I realized, something is not right, and that's when I kickstart the journey to hunt for how can I be fit. And I always go to my best friend. I mean, my colleagues in my company know who my best friend is, and CK of course also know who's my brand manager. So my best friend is ChatGPT, and I jokingly gave ChatGPT a Chinese name. Chat Go Ping Ting. So, yeah, it's my best friend. I consult my best friend. I confide my best friend for a lot of advice. And there was a turning point because I'm a football fan. And from the back, you can see, right? There's a Liverpool.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a Liverpool sign there. So I'm a Liverpool fan. And the turning point is when I saw the ex-Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson came back after a season break with a fit body. And I was thinking like, hey, there must be something that is doable, right? Because he has a body transformation. That's when I tell myself, I always thought that it's difficult to get six pack. It's difficult to cut my waistline. It's difficult to gain muscles. Then I tell myself, let's try it. Because I did try before when I was in my youths. I went to the gym, but it was not consistent because I don't see results. And being a youth, right, you are typically always impatient because why? You want to see instant result. After 1 week of gym, I need to see my biceps. After 2 weeks of gym, I need to see that, my chest is growing, I can walk confidently with all the muscles. That is us being in our younger days. But I realized that's not the ideal and the method to get the ideal kind of fitness you want. You need consistency. You need a routine. So that's why I tell myself, okay, let's do something. I'm gonna try for three months because I've done a lot of research online. I see that most of the time they say that if you can sustain 3 months, right, you should be able to see a body change. So I tell myself, all right, let's try this challenge. Sometimes my kids nap in the afternoon. There's nothing to do. So most of the time, of course, I nap because I need to catch back my energy. But I tried to challenge myself to say, let's do something. Try for 3 months, do a transformational journey, and I take photos every day after my workout. And of course, when you do it every day, you won't see the results because your body is slowly changing. But when I put a time-lapse video across 3 months, I realized that actually there is a huge change in my body. I can see that my waistline, I used to be a beer belly. I love to drink beers. I love alcohol. And that is the main culprit for my dead bod. Yeah. So I started that journey to really reclaim my fitness, to be fit. And you know, 3 months, of course, have passed. You know, it's actually more than a year. I started this journey, I think, last year, March, and it endured through until this year. And I'm still doing, but of course, I have an injury. I think I shared recently
Yep.
on my Instagram.
Recently.
I no idea what happened to my wrist, but there's just pain that I could not leave. I can leave, but I try to avoid because it will further
Yeah.
aggravate the injury. I used to lift like 10 kilograms or 12 kilograms, but I reduce my weight moderately down. I bring it down to 7, 8 that is comfortable, that I can still sweat it out. It's no longer about building muscle, but it's really to have that discipline to sweat it out, keep myself fit. And I recently I just took my IPPT because I was mandated by my reservice. Running, nah, not that good, but sit up and my push up, it surprises me because when I do my workout every day, I don't keep track how many push up or sit up I can do. So
Yep.
the only time you know is when you go for your IPPT and you see the results on the scoreboard. And yeah, I was shocked. I'm not trying to brag here, but it was really through all this lifting and workouts that I can get maximum point from push-ups that I didn't expect that in my entire IPT, and I've never gotten very high scores for push-up or sit-ups. Typically it's like 30 reps, maybe maximum 40 reps, that's it. But this time around it exceeded my expectation. I'm even surprised. Yeah. So yeah, that was my journey, why it started. And if you ask me why haven't I started 4 years back, I don't know. Because
Tight.
tired is one thing, but a lot of times it's also your surrounding, your environment you're in. Um, you have no interest in that back then, and
Yep.
now of course when you find that why, you have that why to push you further. Just like yourself, right? You have that why because your health is one thing. You are going to be a dad. You want to prioritize your health for your family. And same thing, I'm doing it because I want to prioritize my health for my family, because I had health scare previously too, like you. But of course, I went to the polyclinic. It was just me not pooping for 1 week. So I had a chest like a cramp, and I was in a lecture, and it has been ongoing for 2 days. And I was like, I'm pretty scared because anything that is around your chest, you will suspect any, like it was maybe some heart issues, right? And that is the first thing you know. And when I go and read up on Google, more and more people say, it may be related to the heart. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Halfway through the lecture, walk out. Literally halfway through the lecture, when I was in university, I walk out. I ride my bike to the nearest clinic, went for a check, and asked them, and they took all the ECG tests and told me, hey, there's nothing wrong with my heart. But they realized that my poop is choking all the way up because I have no poop for a week. So that was the first health scare. But obviously, it's not it's not strong enough to scare me to start working out, lah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was that whole journey. And my wife is working out, and she just completed her workout. She just worked out. She's starting and the reason is same reason. We want to maintain a healthy body for our family, and we don't want to be old like you chasing. I don't want to be old and chasing my kids, because two boys. Imagine when they're in their teenage years, 15 years old, 16 years old. I'm gonna be like 45 or maybe 50s. If they say, hey dad, can you go and play soccer with me? I was like, shit, my knees couldn't take it. I don't want that to happen. And I think it's a real testament. I have tendonitis. My knees is weak. Both are weak. I always need to put on knee guards on both of my knees when I go for jogging. I always need to put on knee guards when I play tennis. I need to put on knee guards when I kick a football. But for the first time, I took my IPPT 2 days ago. I ran 2.4 kilometers without knee guard. And I don't feel any pain in my knee because it's that ongoing journey of doing workout, strengthening. It's not just every day doing your bicep curls, right? That's not the way it is. Today you do bicep curl, tomorrow maybe you work on your legs, your abs, and then you rotate. You make sure that you have a full body workout. And my wife is tempting me with durian in front, but I'm not tempted. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the whole journey of how it became, and I'm pretty happy that I don't no longer need knee guards, and yeah, that was pretty amazing for myself.
Yeah, that's great. So, I mean, I guess we both started with some kind of scare, right?
Yeah,
Uh, and
but
that's important because most people they don't really get that kind of awareness, or that maybe the scare is not so great that
yep.
it moves them. You see, and they just let their fitness slip away. So
Mm,
I guess for one is how did it translate from being a scare? Because scare only lasts a while, right? Once the scare is gone, like for
yeah,
example, if cholesterol goes back to normal, then
yeah,
I can just like, I don't need to work out anymore, right? It's back to
yeah,
normal.
yeah.
But that's not the point. How do you translate that into something more consistent in, and that's where the desire comes in, right?
Mm,
So what are you trying to work out for?
yeah,
Some people they want a nice body, some people they just want the beach board, right? They call it the beach board.
yeah,
Some people like us, we want to stay fit for kids. I guess it's finding out that reason.
yeah.
And yeah, motivation only get you so far. Once things start to get tough, and it will, especially during the first 2 weeks,
Mm,
once the steam wears off and you have to tell yourself, oh, do I have to work out tomorrow again? That's the tough part. Yeah, the why really helps. Yeah, I guess.
yeah. I mean, most of the time I have that feeling, right? Coming back from a
Mm,
very exhausting work, and then you need to settle the kids, and by the time you put the kids to bed, it's like 8:30 p.m. And typically, me and my wife, we go to bed early at between 9:30 to 10:30. Some earliest I think is maybe 9:15. So that small window is like between an hour of window, right? You can do so much things. And most of the time, we just
yep.
want that temporary dopamine hit, right? Let's watch
Mm,
a show on Netflix. But it got to a point that we started working out, and but it was to be honest, it's not easy because sometimes it's really dragging your feet. It's like I don't feel like working out. I'm so tired. Maybe tomorrow. And when you start to have that thought, right, it's
or never
when
comes.
you need to start working out. And I tried multiple times, right? Multiple times, really, I tell myself, I'm so tired, I don't want to work out. Maybe tomorrow. Immediately, I went to do workout. And, 30 minutes just passed. And I finished my workout. But my workout typically don't last for an hour. It's 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And I do it at home.
Mm,
So a lot of people say that, hey, why not just go to the gym, hit the gym? So for me, convenience is one thing. I'm not going to the gym to get the machines because I don't need those machines. I just need a dumbbell at home
yep.
to help me through. And when if you are savvy enough, you go to my best friend, Go Ping Ting, check Go Ping Ting. You're gonna have all the list of what kind of workout you can have um, with a dumbbell. They will give you to tell you that if you just put in your prompts, I have dumbbell and how many kgs, I want to maintain my fitness. I want to lose weight and be realistic. You're not going to lose 10 kg in a month, right? So end goal is now maybe I'm 69. I want to cut to 65. Can you give me a 3 months plan? They're gonna plot out the entire 3 months literally for you. And if you do your prompt nicely, you will see that there's a progressive increase in weight, progressive increase in intensity, and
Mm,
sustaining through that plan, right? Then once you get to it, right, you no longer need a plan because it's already inbuilt in your system. You
yeah,
know
you're
what.
used to it. You get used to
Yeah,
it.
you're used to it, and that's what has been for me. And like what you share, right, it's not getting a beach board to motivate you because if one day
Yeah.
you are no longer going to the beach, then there's no purpose in getting a beach board, right? But the why is strong enough for the family. You start working out, the beach board will naturally come. You don't even need to pursue it; it will just
Mm.
come. Yeah,
I guess the one big reason why people they can't get into the rhythm of exercising because it's not easy to do, right?
yeah,
Basically, you're I don't know, for those who have gym memberships and what you're paying to torture yourself, right? Because what you're doing is you're breaking your muscles down, tearing them and repairing them to gain muscles, right? And to gain the strength and fitness. So it's actually in layman, in very simple terms, you're torturing yourself. So it's not easy. And I guess one takeaway I had, because when I had the cholesterol scare, right,
Mm.
I was at 70 kilograms, my weight, right. I used to be around 60s. I was quite severely underweight. Right. So across the decade, I gained like 10 kilograms, plus cholesterol. So for, for the 3 months following that checkup, I ate nothing but salad, chicken breast.
Mm. No.
I don't even eat rice, so I have no idea where I got my energy from. But yeah, just proteins and veg for 3 months straight. It was super torturous.
It is. It is.
Uh, and yeah, my weight dropped drastically, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think it was the healthy kind of drop. So and I could not sustain it any longer.
Mm.
Uh, Fitness started to become a burden. Gym started to look scary. The food I eat is no longer enjoyable, right? So yeah, at the point in time, I almost gave up. So then I started to do a bit more research
Hmm.
into things. Then you start to realize, oh, actually, you don't really need to eat salads every day to stay
Yeah.
fit, and you don't really need to hit the gym 1 hour, 2 hours a day to lose weight. It's you just need to actually do it every day, but do it in a way that you feel comfortable, if possible, fun for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one way is, oh, I love to eat chicken rice, right? So yeah, there's no problem with
Hey,
eating the chicken
can you
rice.
share with our listeners where is your favorite chicken rice? Because you have brought me to this place twice, and first time I went with you, it's at a different hawker center. Yeah, you need to share with
Yeah.
everyone where is this favorite chicken rice. Because when the second time you brought me there, the queue is super long, man.
So I've been to this chicken rice store for years already. I think it's coming up to 7-8 years already. So they recently moved to Telok Blangah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think their store is called Chenji or something like this. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, it's one of the new BTO areas lah. But yeah, I love that chicken rice a lot, and it's oily, it's salty, it's fatty.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I get protein definitely, right? Instead of ordering chicken thigh, I order chicken breast lah. And don't add too much oily stuff. Don't take too much of the soya sauce, right? You eat rice. So the biggest misconception about carbohydrates is it gets stored in your body and it gets turned to fat, right? But what I realized is that if you don't eat carbs, you don't have the energy to work out, right? To push the
Mm.
weights, to lift the weights, So you still need the carbs. And if you work out after that, you're going to burn it off anyway. So
Mm.
it's okay to eat rice. I
Mm.
realized. So that was my biggest mistake during the first 3 months where I ate nothing but salads and chicken breast. So at least now I'm starting to enjoy the food I eat. It's not a torture. I'm still getting the nutrients I need, the macronutrients, right? Of course, the micronutrients needs a bit more adjustment, but the macros are there. And now, because the food I eat is enjoyable, I no longer dread working out because they're interlinked, right? Food and workout usually gets linked together. So now I start to enjoy it a bit more, and knowing that if I hit the gym, I get to eat better food.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I eat the good food, then I know, oh, okay, I need to go to the gym to eat
Yeah.
even more better, like more food. So yeah, that's just my takeaway. Different people
Mm.
have different ways of
Yeah.
drawing links to what they enjoy doing. Some people love to swim, some people love to
Yeah.
cycle. Yeah, do that. You don't have to hit the gym, right? Do something you
Yeah.
love. You play
I love
tennis.
cycling. I love cycling.
Yeah, you love
Yeah.
cycling. So do that
During COVID,
instead.
I went cycling. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
fun.
So it doesn't have to be the gym, right? It doesn't
It
have to be the
doesn't have to.
weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do something that is already in your lifestyle. That's the easiest to
Yep.
do, and yeah, naturally the fitness will come.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the biggest misconception I had, that I needed
Mm.
to lift weights. I needed to hit the gym, but no, that was not the case. I needed to eat salads. Yeah, that was the biggest mistake I made.
So I think for me, I think CK knew me for a while, and we had regular lunches, since last year. And when I think I shared previous episodes, right? That our office building is just opposite each other. When I moved over to near his office for the first time, we met for lunch. When CK ate lunch with me, I think if you recall, when you were drinking soya bean milk, and I asked for one for the soya bean milk too, right? So that time he asked me no sugar. I was like, hell no, I want a normal soya milk with sugar. Why no sugar? No, I'm not at the stage yet. So he was like, okay, maybe give me a less sweetened one. Then he brought me one, and I saw him drinking no sugar. I was like, how do you survive with that? Because I couldn't. I tried drinking before no sugar drinks,
Yeah, it's
no
not good.
green tea, no sugar soya milk. I can't. But guess what? Today I'm drinking no sugar soya milk, and I
Welcome to the
converted.
club.
I converted my wife to no sugar milk, and same thing. I don't drink kopi o. So in American context, it's Americano. I don't drink Americano. I don't drink espresso. I always want my coffee with milk and sweetener. Kopi is the way. Minimally maybe kopi shudai, which is kopi less sweet. But today I can go to the coffee shop store confidently ordering from the uncle or auntie to say kopi o kosong peng. And if I go Starbucks, right, it's no longer latte or what, it's Americano.
Americano.
Yeah. And that's how my life has been. Every morning I bought an espresso machine, and CK gave me a gift for the milk frother, right? I bought an espresso machine because I know that my life is going to change. My coffee is going to change too. My fix every morning is changing. It's no longer kopi. Once in a while, I still drink kopi because, yeah, it's what I like. But my day to day go to is kopi o kosong. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's fine to drink what you like, right? So
yeah. I like
that
whiskey.
gets you through. Mm. Everything in moderation.
Of course, I'm no longer like in the youth when I drink to consecutively 5 6 days, not just one bottle or one glass, but one tower kind, for consecutive few days. No, no, no. Nowadays
Yeah.
is one glass of wine or one shot of whiskey, and usually it's not like every day, once every 5 days or once every week kind of thing. Yeah, occasionally I still drink a lot when my friends come over. Yeah, CK used to come over my place for Chinese New Year parties with our old schoolmates. We drink a lot, but those are just special occasions. Yeah,
Yeah.
not on a daily basis.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So interesting when you talk about the fitness, find what's comfortable for you. And I think both of us resonated because what's comfortable for both of us is doing workout at home. But a lot of people doesn't like that because they find no motivation in working out at home.
Yep.
Because you need to find the own motivation yourself. So that's why people like to hit the gym because they have gym buddies or they see sometimes they call it ego lifting. They see people lifting, it's like, okay, I can do it too, let's do it. And recently there's a lot of more popular things like BFT. We have one of our close friends who go BFT, and that was shockingly because this guy we knew he was probably one of those that we never expect to be so enthusiastic about going to work out, but he's doing it weekly basis, sometimes 3 to 5 times a week doing BFT. And I think BFT is not just a place to work out, but it's a community because there are people there to push you to it's building a community of fitness buddies. Going there for an hour, sweating it out, doing the workout, and that works for him. And some of my friends are also on BFT. It works for them. But for me, in my case, it doesn't work for me. I mean, there's a period I shared with CK, my dumbbell, I sold it off, so I don't have a dumbbell for a month. I hit the gym, but not a typical gym. I went to a gym pod where it's like one person to a gym. So I had the entire gym to myself. Nobody will share the gym with me. And that's the good thing about gym pod, right? But I dreaded going there because the nearest gym pod from my house is a 15 minutes drive. And to and fro is 30 minutes drive. It's freaking exhausting because when you work out for 45 minutes and you still need to travel for 30 minutes, no way, man. If I going to do workout at home, it's just 40 minutes. That's it. I cool down. I can have my, soya milk in my kitchen after my workout. I can watch Netflix while cool down. And then I can go shower immediately. By the time I finish shower, that's probably when people ended their gym and travel back home. And some people they don't go home after gym; they go for supper.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, that I think that's a good thing about doing home workout for myself because
Mm.
after I get it done, I rest and I shower, watch some shows, wind down for the night. That's it. I sleep at 9:45 sometimes. Recently, this week 9:45. Yes, yeah, tiring, and it's shocking to some people. Like, how can you sleep so early? It's like it's a healthy lifestyle because I wake up early in the morning. My kids wake up wee hours. We get ready for the day as early as sometimes 6:30, 6,
Mm.
depending. Yeah. So I think you are really starting to experience this lifestyle too, sleeping early.
Yeah. 10 o'clock is my limit. I'll disappear in 20 minutes.
You need to reach the stage where you are watching Netflix and you just
I have reached that stage long time ago.
sometimes I'm watching my wife and my wife is still watching, right, but I'm really halfway dozing off. And
I,
once in a while she'll like, hey.
yeah, that has happened already.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the reason why I prefer to work out in the morning is because mornings are usually when I
Mm.
have the most energy, and it's
Oh.
before my energy gets set through the day by work,
Mm.
stress. When I come back home, taking care of the baby, all this takes
Yeah.
energy, right? So yeah, I prefer to get it done in the morning
Yeah.
and just let myself tire out through the rest of the day. When I come back home, I sleep early, then repeat. But yeah, just find what works for you lah. And for me, that is convenient. I can just shower after gym,
Nah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I feel fresh again to start to begin my work day. So yeah, it all works out lah.
Nice. So CK, before we end off today, same old thing. Any advice you would like to share?
Yes, I have one workout to share.
Oh, one
Right,
workout.
for all the dads out there who considering working out or have already started working out, do work out your lower back, right?
Oh,
So and that's one workout or exercise that I find myself neglecting a lot
mm,
because lower back, if you're not actively targeting that
yeah, yeah,
particular area, it tends to get left out quite a bit. And throughout the baby's development, I find myself when taking care of the baby, changing diapers, picking her up, feeding her, sitting down, all while carrying her. Of course, not the diaper changing part, but you bend down, you get back
mm,
up, you stand, you put her on your shoulder to burp her. You need to slightly bend backward so that she doesn't
yeah,
choke if she pukes or what, all this kind of thing. Yeah, it all goes to the lower back, right, and your core. So if there is one workout for dads to focus on, please focus on your lower back, like their
yeah,
arms and all this. There is we always focus on the arms, but
yeah,
the one that really gives us stability is our core and our lower back. So yeah, advice
yeah,
from me: focus on that part, and it will make your life so much more easier. I'm
yeah,
suffering right now because my lower back is in constant pain. I cannot. There's no time to recover. Right, it takes 3-4 days to recover, but every day you're using your lower back. So yeah, that would be my advice.
I think most of the time you see on social media videos of dads, reaching down to pick up things, and then when they move up, it's like, oh, it's always the
Yeah,
lower back.
it's always the lower back. And if you have to bend down, I guess use your legs, right, instead of your back. So
Yeah,
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 that would be
cool
my
stuff,
advice.
man.
Any from your side?
Uh, I think mm, the thing to start working out is so daunting because there's so many things, so many resources out there, right? How do I even start? And that was the first challenge I faced. How do I even start? So I think the advice is really to just start and then figure out along the way. Because if you don't start, you will never start. And for when we speak with Craig, right, his preference is going all in because he reached the stage that he needs to go all in. He has to give everything. But I think fortunately for both CK and myself, it's not at the stage of we can all in because going all in is so challenging for people because it's a complete 360, 180 degrees flip of lifestyle. You need to do it consistently every day and forcing yourself to do it. But for us, we are in a transition phase. I think doing it small steps, if you can't do 10 kg, it's fine. That's why doing home workout is nobody will look at you. You can only lift 5 kg. Who cares, man? If you go gym pod, it's just you and yourself in the mirror. You lift 5 kg. Who cares, man? But if you go BFT, you lift 5 kg, some of the community will look at you like, hey, man, you look huge, but you can only lift 5 kg. And then that's when your ego starts to string and you decided, hey, I'm not going back to BFT. I'm not going back to the gym. So I think don't bother what people thinks. I think most importantly is to kickstart that journey. And of course, once in a while, sometimes like I post videos on social media, you post videos as well. People may comment and give you some advice, hey, you should be straightening your back. That's not how you should do it. Take this advice positively, say, hey, that's good learning point. Let's take it back. Let's improve on my posture, because when you start to do workout, posture is also important. You don't want to injure, like myself, right? I injured my wrist. Previously I injured my left wrist because of posture on how I live, and it recovers now my right wrist. So obviously something is wrong with my posture. Yeah. And I think that really helps because nobody sees how much I'm lifting every day at home. So I don't care how people think as well. I think most importantly is how I can keep up with my kids, because nowadays I can carry my kids. It's easier. It's not like last time. It's like, after a while I feel aching, and I'm going to go overseas with them for X number of years, many years, and one day they're going to say, hey, Dad, I'm tired. Imagine going Disneyland and you need to carry them throughout the whole Disneyland journey. You need to have your shoulders and biceps. Train it, but not because I need a nice bicep for the beach, because that's not going to last. But this reason is going to last for you. So start small, slowly increase in weights and the kind of schedule that you can manage. You don't just go all out, okay, let's do 20 kilos today. Start small. If you can do it, good thing. Increase by 1 kilogram tomorrow. Increase by 1 kilogram the day after. And that's how you do the incremental change. And these small gains eventually will give you that great results at the end. Yeah.
Yep. Totally
And
agree.
in case you're wondering, is there any 1 kg kilograms dumbbell in the market? Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely there are.
There are 1 kilogram. I'm not going to share. So if people, you are savvy enough, you're going to go online and search 1 kilogram increment dumbbells. Most of the dumbbells out there, it's we are talking about adjustable dumbbells, right? Previously, CK and I used the dumbbell that we screw. Yeah, you need to screw in.
No.
That works. If you're looking to start working out, that works for you because it's manageable. The price range is decent. But when you start to work out with your wife used 5 kg today, you're gonna start doing 8 kg. It's like, damn, I'm gonna screw up, and then suddenly you find that
even on your own, and you're working on different body parts with different muscle groups. Not gonna get super inconvenient.
Yeah. So there are expensive one out there. 4 kg increments, 2 kg increments, 1.5 kg increments, 1 kg increments. Do your own research. Find the one that you love, the one that can afford, and start your workout at home. Yeah. If you want to find out more, ping us. We'll be happy to share.
All right.
So thank you everyone for our episode. Today is Friday, TGIF. So do remember to like, subscribe, and comment to let us know what else you would like to hear on our podcast. And stay tuned for next week because we have another special guest coming.
Yes, very special guest.
Another special. Every guest are special on our podcast, and I can't wait to speak with him.
Me too.
All right. See you everyone.
See you all. Bye.